Hello and welcome. My name's Leanne. I live in Australia and this is my crafty cupboard. Good morning everyone. I'm back working on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 4 Treasure Hunt piece today. As you know, I'm making a Victorian Sewing Box, and so far I've only done one piece of the outsides, which was the monogram. And so when we got the prompt this time for botanical, I've already done the lid with flowers, but I wanted to do some more. So I am going to use this gorgeous piece of lace that was sent to me by Christine. Thank you so much, Christine. And do some ribbon embroidery on this piece. And I'd like it in a hoop. So I've just stitched it onto a bigger piece of fabric because it's not going to fit in the hoop. And I learnt this from when I went to a Japanese beading class with Marilyn Whittle. So thank you very much, Marilyn. Marilyn had the piece prepped for us already with as she'd zigzagged it on a machine, so it was very firm. I can't be bothered getting out my sewing machine, so I've just done a running stitch. So we'll see. But now what you do is essentially cut away the extra carefully so you don't cut the fabric on the other side, which is a little nerve-wracking. Just want to get a little start here, please. Come on, scissors, pick up a little bit. Maybe the seam ripper might help. Seam ripper's not here. Okay, little sharp scissors. Yeah, they've got in that hole. Just making sure they're not going through the fabric on the other side. Oh, good. Make a little cut. Okay, so they're sharp enough to poke in but not cut. Still, there might be enough for my other scissors to get in there. That's got it. And so you just basically use an inexpensive fabric. I'm using calico. Because I like to do little stitcheries on calico anyway, so afterwards these little pieces aren't wasted. They become little backgrounds of stitcheries for my hexagons and little pockets on bags and all sorts of things. Actually, one of the recent craft shows I went to, I bought these little frames. One makes a pendant and one makes a brooch. And so I'm really looking forward to making those one day as well. Okay, so now that's the piece prepped, ready to pop in the frame. As I mentioned, I hope this works with the running stitch. We'll see. We will see. Just center it up. I want a bit of room down the bottom. That's where I'll be working, not the top. Which way do I want to be, the top and bottom is the question, actually. Quite like that they're there, you know, bit of visual interest, and that they're cascading down this way. Yeah, there's not much visual interest at the top there, is there? So in fact, let's make that the top. That the top. So give myself a bit more room down the bottom here to work. And put that so it's over on the left-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to cut it straight down here. I've still got that beautiful piece to use on something else. And I'm going to stitch in this one. And it's just got that lovely little overlap just to go around the edges. Now I am just going to treat those edges with a little bit of glue. Okay, so this is just a temporary basting glue, but it might just give a little extra protection along those edges from fraying as I stitch it down. Okay. I'll pop that aside to dry for a minute. So in terms of thread to stitch it down, I was just going to use, normal sewing machine thread because it's nice and thin. But it's hard to colour match this because this looks white, but it's, that off-white. So when I put white thread on it, it's just super obvious. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but in real life it sort of glares. So I've got this lovely mauvey grey. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to place my stitches over the sort of cut work part of it, rather than stitching down the white sections. And hopefully that will stitch it down but make it disappear. Still waiting for that to dry. So these are 2 ribbons that I've pulled out that I want to use to make the roses. I bought them from Silk Studio on YouTube. Not YouTube, Etsy. And they're variegated. So this one's going sort of from, softest pastel blues into cornflower blue. And then this one similar, but in a mauve, very gentle. Into slightly stronger colour. And so what I'm hoping for with these is to achieve something like this when I did this. So fingers crossed. That was the first attempt. Sometimes I find your future attempts aren't as good. But anyway, we'll give it a shot. It's all learning, isn't it? Okay, so that's dry enough for me to begin. So I'm going to place that there. So I've got it so it's just, a hint of the blue down the bottom. I've got my sewing box all stacked up in a container. Oh, it's so pretty. I just love looking at it. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I came here for some pins. Might pin you there. Oh, you found it hard to get through, didn't you? And here. I'm just going to do little stitches over some of these, keeping them really close to the edge, so that hopefully the stitch disappears. so that's anchored down and you can't see, and on the back it's just got some little stitches there. So I'm going to keep working on this and then I'll be back with something else to show you. So I'm thinking I'd like a row sort of here and here, and you know, about this size. So that's what's that, about the size of my thumbprint. This ribbon though was smaller. It wasn't as wide as this one. I think that pink one, peachy one, was 7mm, and I think this is 13mm. But anyway, we'll just try it. So you start off by making just in embroidery thread a 5-spoked asterisk. I'm going to do a Y stitch and come up, sorry, properly called a fly stitch, and however long you make this stitch, that's the width of the flower. There, and say to here. Gosh, it certainly is harder once you're placing it on a piece and you want it in the right spot. It's much easier doing it on the black felt, just wherever. Okay. Right, so do that there. And then one stitch the same length out along here. Yep. And up here. There. Maybe over a bit more there. All right, come up in the center. Come up there where there's a gap in the lace. Only have to get it through the fabric once and then we're good. Okay. So now you'd go under. Now the first time I did this, I concentrated on the ribbon and made it flat and pulled it tight, and it didn't look as good as when I let it do what it wants. So I'm going to be brave and let it do what it wants, except that what you're doing is going over, under as you go around. So that one was under, so now I'm going over this one and under that one. And because it's an uneven number of spokes, each time you go around, it'll be different to the time before. So you can see here that one was under, now it's over. This one was over, now it's under. Over, under, all the way around the circle. And it looks like you've done the hardest thing in the world, but it's actually really easy. Oops, must be stuck in the thread there. one's under, so this one's over, this one's under. So once again, this is a variegated 13mm silk ribbon. You just keep going until those little spokes that you stitched on to start off with are covered. I do not want you to do that. See how that's going to cover the whole thing and ruin it? I'm not going to allow that, so let's maybe put a twist in it. That's better. So I'm going to leave it at that and do some buds. So this had two types of buds. That's just ribbon stitch, and that one is a lazy daisy. You're going to be careful not to pull it right through, because if you do, it's all over. Okay, and I've only got a very short length left, so the other bud, I want it to come out over here. It's only just enough ribbon left to twist and turn the ribbon. Yeah. I'm keeping my thumb in it so I can't accidentally pull it through when I'm pulling. I'm going to leave it at that. Now at the back we don't want to go pulling this and knotting it or anything. I'm just going to couch it down with other stitching in the future. Okay, that's that one. Same again. So I'm going to do this one in the mauve. By the way, length of ribbon, so this is 13mm. I just cut the ribbon I bought in half. This hoop's 8 inch. It's nearly, say, 23 inches. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay, so I've done the lilac rose and the stems and some leaves. However, I feel like the Appleton's wool's too thin and have been lost in the piece. So I'm going to try with tapestry wool. This is DMC 7392. And in my quest to help me with getting the needle through, because we know with the ribbon it was hard, I've got out my awl. Have to be very careful with an awl. You do not want to have your hands anywhere near it. And the other thing I'm being careful of is to not go through the ribbon, because if we go through the ribbon we ruin it. So with the rosebud, to attach it to the rose, I do a fly stitch around it. So you come up here, then you come up here, don't pull it through, and you come at the bottom of the rosebud and pull until it's connected. Again, being careful where we go in. Want to go in somewhere where it's connecting to the rose. Again, I'm going to use my trusty awl to open up a bigger hole to get the needle through. Where's the ribbon? All out of the way. This has come from bear making. I used to do lots of teddy bears, and also I use it in making the holes for book binding. An invaluable tool. Now I use it for ribbon embroidery and wool embroidery in a tightly woven fabric. Okay, I'm going to connect this little fella too. Again, just going to open up some holes. Now you can either go side by side, or sometimes it's interesting to have different heights as well. This really is a useless hoop. I can see why it was donated to the store, because it just does not hold up to the pressure. So much easier. Alright, I'm going to make its base hole as well. Check it's not in the ribbon. Oh dear, it's pulled the ribbon as it's gone through. There we go. Plump up little fella. If you are going to make a hole like I have to put your stitches through, make your life easier, be careful you don't break the weave. You've got to just spread the weave of fibres. If you break it, it's going to fray. Where do I like the look of you connecting? I like the look of you connecting in the same spot, honestly. All right, let's take a moment to pause. What do we think? Yeah, I think certainly the bigger wool. I'll probably leave these there, honestly. It's nice to have a bit of variation. Okay. Now, a bit of leaf. So to do a leaf, let's see, I might come, see the leaf coming down here. So you do one straight stitch to get started. Why did I not think of the awl earlier? What a saviour. Now, am I free of ribbon in this area? Yes, I don't even have to worry anymore. And then you do fly stitches either side of that, getting progressively wider as you come down. Might move you here to mind my needle. Where'd your magnet go? Oh, the scissors stole it. Okay, so I don't keep losing it. Come up here, go down there. Don't pull it tight. Come up at the base. There. Now sometimes just that much looks lovely. You might want a larger leaf. I'm going to go larger. I'm going to come out a bit wider this time. It looks like such a large hole, doesn't it? Make a hole down here. Probably can come out the same hole we went in before. Nice. Okay, go in there. And that's where I'd made the hole because I made it in the hole of the lace. There. Lovely. And I'm going to go in the same hole that we made before. Making sure it goes under the rose. Nice. Yeah, that's much better scale. So I feel like I should just give this one here as well to anchor it. I think it might be nice if it has a little bit of bling. Just a couple of beads of some description. So I'll get some and I'll be back. Okay, let's get beading. So I'm thinking just a smattering of beads. Maybe where the little satin stitches are, or in where some of the gaps are. It looks better, I wonder. Alright, so just like random there. Or would it look better to have it, say, in the centre of that? I'm going to zoom in. I feel like it looks better on the white. So that's what I'm going to go with. Zoom you back out again. If I don't zoom out, I go off screen when I'm stitching. beading needle. How lovely, you just glide through the fabric with your lovely little thin eye and your sharp point. What a delight. I've got hold of the thread as well as the needle. There we go. Pop over here. Okay, that's too close to the edge, that one. That one's too close to the bud. I might give this guy one. Just being careful because I can feel the ribbon nearby underneath. And then over in the center here. Even though it's been a little difficult to stitch through this fabric, which is such high quality, with the ribbons and the wool, I have to say it's so worth it to me because I love this. Look at this, combining everything I love in one piece. I've got linen, we've got silk ribbons, glorious beads, beautiful lace, lovely wool. Okay, maybe down to this one. I've still got one inner side to go and 4 outer sides, so that's 6 sides. I'm not sure how many prompts we've got left, so hopefully that's enough prompts. Enough, you know, space for all the prompts that are left. And If not, I can always make things to go inside the box that use the prompts. I've also got the base. At the moment I'm thinking like the inner base. Obviously the outer base is just plain fabric because it sits on the table. But the inner base, I've also thinking of just keeping it plain because my idea is to either have it so that my teacup pincushion can sit on it, or some sort of tulle wrap. Well, actually, let's investigate that now while we're looking at it. I know I'm getting off topic here, because this is the base. Like, would these tools fit? So this one does, this one does. Like a pen, chalk pen, marking, a crochet hook, just water brush. Yeah, so maybe some sort of, you know, a series of elastic across the base that would hold these sorts of tools is one idea. Or another idea is like I'd like it just empty so that you can put all the bits of whatever you're working on at the time in the box. You could connect these little beads on as if they were extra little flower buds or something in the bouquet. But I'm just going to leave them highlighting the bits of lace. Oh, that one was a bit close to the edge there, but that's okay. One more. Glorious. Snippity snip. Okay, now it's time to take it out of the frame. Just take off my needle threader. I'm about to sneeze, excuse me. Goodness me. Believe you might help us with this job. And here it is, the finished piece. I really, really love it. That lace is just beautiful. Blingy beads. And there we have it, the two outside sides that I've got finished so far. Love them so much. Even you could make a box just with this on every side, couldn't you? It's gorgeous, even if I say so myself. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.